Welcome back, everyone. For those new to this channel, I am Dr. John Padfield. I am a business professor and a former Indiana state representative. And this is Business Reform, where we discuss issues at the intersection of business, technology, and society. I say we discuss because I absolutely love reading and responding to your comments that you leave in the comment section under my videos. Some of your comments have inspired future videos, and one comment in particular that was left on my last video, entitled Why You Need a Burner Credit Card, prompted me to include PayPal in today's video. So I want to say a special thanks to everyone who has left comments. Please keep them coming. In my last video, I explained what burner credit cards are and why even people with nothing to hide should consider using a burner card. In this video, I'm going to examine several companies that offer burner cards, which are sometimes referred to as masked cards or virtual cards. I want to begin by making it perfectly clear this is not a sponsored video. I am not being compensated in any way, shape, or form by any of the companies I am discussing today. The opinions that I'm sharing are purely my own. Also, before getting into a discussion of burner credit cards, I want to address a very valid point that someone left in a comment on my last video. The comment reads, "If you want the apps out altogether, purchase a prepaid card with cash. These are usually available where gift cards are sold, and I don't recall paying any service fee. We usually keep one on hand specifically for online purchases." This is an excellent point, and it's one of the reasons that I so enjoy reading the comments that are left on my videos. I'm thankful somebody brought this up in the comment section. First off, I absolutely agree that paying cash for a prepaid credit card, which technically makes it a debit card rather than a credit card, that is a very private way to go. You can purchase that, you can then keep it in a drawer somewhere, and just hang on to it until you need it. However, purchasing a prepaid card does come with a few drawbacks. They're relatively minor, and so I'm not saying that this is a bad option at all. First, there is an activation fee, which can amount to a significant percentage of the card's value if you are purchasing a small card. For instance, a $25 prepaid card purchased at Walmart will cost you $28.44 due to the $3.44 activation fee. That amounts to a 13.8% fee for a small dollar value card. However, if you're purchasing a $200 prepaid card from Sam's Club, the activation fee is only $6.48, which makes the activation fee just 3.2%. Second, suppose you buy a $100 prepaid card and you spend $86 on an online purchase. What do you do with that remaining $14 on the prepaid card? Obviously, you could hang on to it possibly for months or years until you had a small purchase that you wanted to make for $14 or less. If you end up making a $10 purchase months down the road, you now have $4 on that card, and it's going to be difficult to spend that $4. So the combination of the activation fee and any money that you may have left over on the card may make them a less attractive option than going with a burner card that you can load with the exact amount of money that you want to spend. Prepaid cards are certainly an option, and for some people they may be a better option than a burner card that I'm going to focus on for the remainder of this video. There are many privacy-related apps in the Apple App Store. I'm sure the same is also true of the Google Play Store, but I personally only use the Apple ecosystem. If you want to see more reviews on privacy-related apps, please let me know in the comments section for this video. In this video, I am just reviewing privacy apps that offer burner credit cards. Specifically, I will be discussing Privacy.com, IronVest, and MySudo. Even though it is not generally considered a privacy app, I will also be discussing PayPal because they do offer some of the advantages of a masked credit card. In the semifinal round, my criteria for evaluating these companies will be their credit card features and the company's reputation. This will quickly narrow the field down to the final two companies who will then go head-to-head based on their privacy policy and price. First up is Privacy.com. Privacy.com has a 4.6 average rating on a 5-star scale, with 7,100 ratings on the Apple App Store. Privacy.com features best-in-class military-grade 256-bit encryption, and they were named by Forbes as one of the world's top 100 most customer-centric companies. Privacy.com has over 250,000 users and has processed over $2 billion worth of transactions. Their services are available to U.S. citizens and legal residents at least 18 years of age and who have a checking account at a U.S. bank or credit union. Their credit cards can be set up as single-use, meaning the card can only be used one time, or as merchant-locked, meaning the card can be used multiple times but only at one specific merchant. Cards can also be created that are category-locked, so a parent could give one of their kids in college a card that could only be used for one category of purchases, such as food or clothing, but could not be used for other things. I have never used Privacy.com, but based on their features and their reputation, I would not hesitate to use them. Next up is PayPal. PayPal boasts an impressive 4.8-star average with 6.3 million ratings on the Apple App Store. I have used PayPal, but I quit using it in September 2022 for reasons that I will get into in just a moment. Like Privacy.com, PayPal uses state-of-the-art encryption to protect your financial data. Also, like Privacy.com, PayPal works by connecting to your bank account. Then when you make an online purchase, PayPal does not provide your credit or debit card information to the seller, so that if the seller is ever hacked, the hacker will not be able to run up your credit cards or drain your bank account. However, when it comes to reputation, in my opinion, PayPal has a horrible reputation, and I do not trust them at all after what they did in September 2022. I made a video on what they did entitled PayPal's To Catch a Predator Explanation. I put a link to that video in the description of this video, but the really short version of the incident is that in September 2022, PayPal posted on their website a new acceptable use policy set to go into effect on November 3, 2022. The new acceptable use policy would allow PayPal to fine users $2,500 for violating their acceptable use policy. That part was not new, but what constituted violating the acceptable use policy was. PayPal added subsection G, which prohibits users from, quote, sending, posting, or the publishing of messages, content, or material that, in PayPal's sole discretion, or fraudulent or promote misinformation. David Marcus, the former president of PayPal, criticized the company in a tweet stating, quote, a private company now gets to decide to take your money if you say something they disagree with? Insanity. A few hours later, Elon Musk, who is a former CEO of PayPal, agreed with David Marcus. Shortly after that tweet, Yahoo News, the New York Post, the Washington Times, and the Epoch Times reported that PayPal was pulling back and wouldn't fine customers $2,500 for spreading what PayPal, in its sole discretion, considers misinformation. The reason I called my October 2022 video PayPal's To Catch a Predator Explanation is because rather than admitting they were wrong for planning to implement a horrible idea, PayPal chose to give the same explanation as every guy who inadvertently starred on Chris Hansen's TV show To Catch a Predator. Yeah, I know I posted all those things online, but I never really intended to do anything. That was less than 2 years ago. PayPal was planning to penalize its users $2,500 for spreading what they, in their sole discretion, deemed to be misinformation. So in my sole discretion, I find PayPal to be untrustworthy and Privacy.com to be the clear winner over PayPal based on the features and reputation of the company. That brings us to our next two competitors, IronVest and MySudo. I currently use MySudo, which describes itself as an all-in-one privacy app. MySudo has a 4.7 star average rating with 15,000 ratings on the Apple App Store. MySudo allows you to have up to 10 phone numbers, email addresses, and browsers, as well as the ability to create burner cards. But again, for this video, I am only focusing on the burner card aspect of these apps. As of today, July 30, 2024, MySudo virtual cards are only available on the iOS version of the app, but support for Android is supposed to be available soon. Our final competitor in the 2024 burner card playoffs is IronVest. This app was originally developed by a company called Abine, who also offers a service I have used for years called Delete Me. I made a video last year called Defeating Privacy Parasites, in which I discussed Delete Me, and I have put a link to that video in the description of this video. IronVest was originally known as Blur, and like MySudo, it offered the ability to have a burner email address, burner phone number, and burner credit cards. Blur was my introduction to burner credit cards. Abine changed the name of the app to IronVest and added a lot of new features such as a password manager. But again, this video is only focused on burner cards, which is unfortunate for IronVest. IronVest currently has a 3.3 star average rating out of 420 ratings on the Apple App Store. And while they did offer burner credit cards and their website leads you to believe they still do, they currently do not. If you were to download the app today and attempt to create a masked card, you will see the option is grayed out, and there is no explanation about why it is grayed out. However, if you were to do an online search for why you can't create a masked card in IronVest, you would find a notice from IronVest explaining that there is a, quote, temporary service disruption in them issuing masked credit cards. Since January 20th, 2024, which is over 6 months ago, IronVest has, quote, paused the masked card feature, and they plan to bring it back sometime in the summer of 2024 with some improvements. Because this video is focused on a feature IronVest is not currently providing as of July 30th, 2024, MySudo is the clear winner in this semifinal round. And that brings us to the final round where Privacy.com goes head-to-head with MySudo on privacy policy and price. Before diving into the privacy policies, I need to quickly explain what Know Your Customer laws are about. The U.S. Patriot Act, drafted by American spy agencies prior to 9/11 and crammed through Congress in the days after 9/11, requires financial institutions to have a customer identification program and to collect information on all of their customers. In other words, by law, both MySudo and Privacy.com must collect certain information about their customers. With that said, both companies have excellent privacy policies, and I'm just going to cover a couple of excerpts from both companies, but links are provided in the description of this video to the entire privacy policy for both companies. MySudo follows a policy known as data minimization. In other words, they collect only the bare minimum amount of information needed to provide you with the services you want to use. They also do not, quote, sell, trade, or exchange your personal information with third parties, and they never will. This is a very important statement because some companies mislead their users in their privacy policies by simply stating we do not sell your information. However, some of those companies will turn around and exchange your information, trading what they know about you with another company that knows other things about you. So they are sharing your information or trading your information, but not exactly selling it. It's kind of a word game, but what I like about MySudo is they make it clear we don't engage in that. They do not sell, they do not trade, they do not exchange your personal information. MySudo also states they will only share your information with law enforcement in response to a proper and lawful request, such as a subpoena or search warrant. This is in stark contrast to companies such as Bank of America, who FBI whistleblowers claim voluntarily gave a list of their customers who use their credit and debit cards in the D.C., Virginia, and Maryland areas anytime between January 5th and January 7th, 2021. Privacy.com also has a very customer-centric privacy policy built around data minimization and transparency. I like how they limit the data they collect and limit how they use the personal data of their users for purposes directly related to providing their services. I also like that they are transparent about the circumstances under which they will share data. I would point out one thing, though. Their policy states they will share a user's personal data with government and law enforcement where reasonably necessary for user or public safety or to comply with applicable laws. But unlike MySudo, they do not explicitly state they will only share information if presented with a subpoena or a search warrant. So this makes me favor MySudo's privacy policy just a little bit better. However, Privacy.com does explicitly state they undergo annual certifications to ensure their systems are compliant with payment card industry standards and that they have procedures and use leading technology such as encryption, firewalls, and server authentication to prevent anyone, including their own staff, from gaining unauthorized access to user data. Overall, I would rate both privacy policies from these two companies as excellent, so the score is currently tied with the winner of the 2024 burner card playoffs coming down to price. And here's where it gets just a little bit tricky because both MySudo and Privacy.com offer multiple plans. So for this video, I am focusing on the lowest cost plan that includes the ability to create a burner card. MySudo has a free plan, but it does not include burner cards. The cheapest plan from MySudo with virtual cards is 99 cents per month or $9.99 per year, but the virtual cards are currently only available on iOS. Also, keep in mind there is a 2.99% plus 31-cent fee added every time you use a virtual card for a transaction. Or to put it another way, if I make a $50 purchase using a virtual card from MySudo, it would cost me an extra $1.80 due to the 2.99% plus 31 cents. This is in addition to the $1 per month or $10 per year for the plan. Privacy.com also has multiple plans with their lowest cost plan starting at free. Their free plan allows you to create up to 12 virtual or burner cards per month, and because their service is tied to your checking account rather than a credit card, there is no per transaction fee for domestic transactions. So this is truly a free service for up to 12 cards per month. If you use a virtual card for an international transaction, there will be a 3% transaction fee. And at this point, I can already hear some of you thinking of the old adage, if you're not paying for the service, then you're the product. However, in this case, that is not true. Privacy.com is making money, but they are making their money from the merchants. They are collecting that 2.9 or so percent that any credit card company would be collecting from merchants who accept credit cards. So who wins the 2024 burner card playoffs? This is tough. It is like asking who is the better football team, the 2024 Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs or the 2022 World Cup champion team from Argentina. They both call what they play football, but they aren't really playing the same game. Because I have stressed throughout this video that I am only focusing on features related to burner cards, also known as mask or virtual cards, and because both Privacy.com and MySudo have great reputations and privacy policies, I have to decide based on price. And Privacy.com does have a free plan that works on both iOS and Android that does not have any transaction fees associated with it. So I have to give them the win. However, MySudo is also an excellent app. It's reasonably priced and it includes a lot of additional privacy features that are not found in privacy.com. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe and give it a like. And if you'd like to see me review more privacy apps, please leave a comment in the comment section below. Also, if you are going to be in the Atlanta area over Labor Day weekend, you can see me at the Electronic Frontiers Forum track at DragonCon on Friday, August 30 and Saturday, August 31st, where I will be speaking on several privacy-related panels. Thank you for watching.